What an entrance, right? Good morning. Yes, we are working on our sound system, so as it squeaks into the next plane of existence, it still has the old one still has a little bit of life left in it, doesn't it? Well, and we honor it for its years of service. But there's a new energetic coming. So, well, good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to the Grants Pass Center for Spiritual Living. I'm Reverend Steve Van Meter, your senior minister. You can tell by the hair, right? So, if you can see the slide through the trees, if you can see the forest through the trees, you'll see integrity is choosing courage over comfort, choosing what is right over what is fun, fast, or easy, and choosing to practice our values rather than simply professing them. And it's one thing to talk a talk, it's another thing to walk the talk you're talking. And it's an interesting time we live in. I think that there's a lot coming up for us to check in with, to see how we feel. It's not a judgment, it's a wake-up call. Everything is happening for our highest and best. It only makes a difference when we put a label on it and say it's good or bad, right? So our December theme is integrity. Doesn't mean we can't have fun. Just means we need to make sure that the fun is real. We need to really come from that place of love, from our overflow. So my title this morning is Wandering Off Your Path. You know, when you're going on a hike, it's best to take a few things with you. First off, you want to know where you are. You kind of want to have an idea of where you're going. We don't always have an idea. Sometimes we know that we're going somewhere. We don't always have a map. It's good to have one if you can. And then you want to bring some provisions with you. Some water, some light food, some snacks, just in case, right? But we don't always set out on a trip with those things. And do we have the consciousness to know that they will be provided along the way? Is there a stream nearby where I could get some food? And do we know if those berries are poisonous or not? Because if we do need a snack, we're going to want to partake. So we embrace the quality of being honest and strive to let our inner convictions match our outer actions. We express wholeness, honesty, and fairness in our relationships and our activities along our path. Well, they have these new things called a GPS, a navigation system. I have an old navigation system. You know, it's always asking me to update my maps, to plug it into my computer, to pay extra money because there's new roads that have been renamed or streets that are no longer there. But I kind of like my old system. You know, I'm kind of like, at least I have a GPS, right? You can use your phone too, right? Siri, where am I? Where am I going? And then it will say, I don't know. Where would you like to go? Well, GPS, Global Positioning System, and I like to think of it as God's prayer system, GPS. Now, if you program something into your GPS when you're going somewhere, and if you stray from the calculated route, it likes to tell you. Recalculating. I'm constantly seeing recalculating on mine because I like to go different ways than it says for some reason. You know, it's so silly. I put it in and then I go a different way to see how it will respond. Proceed to root. Proceed to the root. Get back on the track, right? And of course, I programmed mine to be this lovely Australian female accent. Because, you know, I like to be asked, kind of, you know, to proceed to root. I don't like to be told, proceed to root. Because I know I'm off the route. We know we're off the path, don't we, sometimes? That's when we get into challenge, is when we think we're on the right path and we have gone off the rails on a crazy train and we are way off where we thought we were supposed to be. Do you ever get to a particular age in your life and go, you know, I thought I would be in a different place now. I thought I was going to be somewhere else. This wasn't part of my plan. This wasn't on my list of places to be. But here I am. Here we are. You know, I used to ask my spiritual teacher, why is this happening now? Why is this happening to me now? And she says, because it's now. I didn't get that for several years. It's like, well, yeah, it's now, but why is it now? Because it is. Get over it, dude. Get over it. So, there is only one path, and you're on it. And I've been asked, well, where does free will come into the path? Right? I mean, you like to kind of think that you're having your free will, that you're deciding kind of that I want to go in a certain direction, don't you? It's a control thing for me. I want to know that this was my decision, even if it's a bad one. I will argue for my limitations. No, it says we're supposed to be here now. So I will use my free will to get off the path intentionally, just to see what happens. But are we really using free will if we believe that God is everything that is? There's not a path that isn't the right path. There are just different paths. Now, it may look dark, and it may look like we are headed in a particular direction. But maybe that's happening, and that's all part of the master plan so that we know where we don't want to be. I know that when I've been in certain job situations, and I thought that my boss was not making good decisions, but I had to follow what they wanted because that was what the supervisor had said the way to do it. And later I found out that there were reasons that I didn't understand, that they had a bigger picture, that there were reasons I had to go through certain hoops. And that at the end of it, I realized that if I had not gone through those hoops, I would not have certain experiences or knowledge that allowed me to fully express in the splendor of my new GPS system. So, when we have free will and we exercise it, know that there is something else going on, that you can never be off the path. If it's all God, you can't make a wrong decision. Now, you may make different decisions based on information. But know that if there is something that is always guiding us back to the truth, as we relinquish our free will to what we believe the power within us is, it will always guide us back to where we need to be. Always. You can be out there on the fringes, in the desert. And let me tell you, I've been out in the desert, wandering aimlessly. But there was something going on out there in the desert that was preparing me and guiding me back, even though I felt completely lost. Do you ever feel completely lost in your life? Come on. Just two of you? Okay, well, the rest of you who are lying, if you haven't felt lost yet, well, you have definitely forgotten some things. Because we all feel lost at times. It's part of the experience. It's just, do we freak out when we're lost? You know? Have you ever seen someone who's lost? Have you ever seen a little child who's lost, like at the county fair? I mean, they're freaked out. I mean, come on, you know? They've gotten a security guard with them and they're trying to find their parents. And I remember somebody was saying, the parents were trying to find their little guy, and one of the other family members, his brother, said, "If we don't find him, can I have his bedroom?" It's like, you know, he's already got it all figured out, right? But it broke the ice for them, like, okay, we're going to find him, all right? You know, like, come on, right? It's the county fair, you know. I mean, we may have to wait till the end till people, you know, filter out and find the information station. But you're going to get found when you're lost. Eventually, you will either burn up in the atmosphere of being so lost and make your transition and come back to center immediately, or some angel of our better nature will guide us back. Have you ever been in the midst of something and felt so lost, and someone said, some energy of the infinite came up and said, "Oh, the answer's right there. The way is right there." And it's like been there the whole time, and you're like, of course it was there. I saw it was there. I just chose to go on my free will path. Just, right? I don't like to admit that I'm lost. No, nobody does. It's, you know. But if we can admit that we're lost and be okay with it, now I get into it where I'm lost. I'm like, look, I've never seen this part of town before. Look at this. This is all new. Wow, I've never been so lost. I know I'm supposed to be somewhere right now, but apparently, I've given myself over to the universal principle that I'm never lost. So there's a reason I'm supposed to not be where I said I was going to be at a certain time. You know? Let's be okay with that, right? Let's not freak out because we're late. Let's go, hey, I'm on a new adventure, right? If we can see it rightly, that there is something for you within being lost, because we're never off the right path. We're never off our path. If you are alive and have a body, you're on the right path. Now, I have gone down some paths where I lost the ability to make choices because I was so lost. Because things in life had come over me in such a way that I didn't feel like I was in control anymore. I mean, that's being lost. That's being so lost. But even within that, deep within my heart of hearts, I knew that something was guiding me, that there was something else going on. Do you know what I'm talking about? If you're in this room, I'm sure you do, because you were guided to be here in some way. Something happened usually. You know, I like to think you come to this teaching either from inspiration or desperation, and I'm the latter. I was desperate for a change in my life. Of course, I was inspired to take the new changes I was offered. So change your perspective. Look deeper. And always know that you're not lost. You're only lost when you believe that you don't have a GPS. Because you're alive, you have a GPS. You have a God planning prayer system. It's in our DNA. It's part of who we are. Now, maybe we lose our connection to the satellite. At times we feel that we have. no signal. What? No signal? How am I going to find my way back if I can't even get to a satellite? Life leaves clues. If you're trying to do something and you're wrestling because it's not working out the way you think, life leaves clues. Life is guiding you that there's another way you should be thinking about this. I remember I was planning an event. I was in Canada. This particular vendor was, not calling me back, not getting in touch with me. I was so, it was one of those, this is call number 7. I would like a return call. It was like one of those, it wasn't about what I was working on. It was like I wanted a call back. I don't even remember what it was, but I remember the anger of not being called back, right? And one of the other people on the committee said, "Oh, honey, that means you got to go in a different direction with this." I was like, "What?" She goes, "Life is leaving you a clue. You're not picking up on your will is in your way. Relax and there is something right before you that is trying to show you a new way." And there was another vendor who was calling me with the same services that I wasn't calling back because I was hook, line, and sinker over there, right? Reeling in that big fish. And here's somebody trying to give me my good, and I was arguing for my limitations because it was the way it always was. So there are ways to stay the course. Follow your intuitive gut instinct. How many times have we gone, I should have gone with my gut. I knew it, but you didn't heed it, right? And you're like, I knew this was going to happen. I just wanted to do it my way. Our spiritual practices of spiritual mind treatment, going into meditation, visioning, getting quiet and asking the universe for assistance will never be a waste of time. If you go within, just for a moment to quiet your mind and have a moment of stillness in the midst of your challenge, will show the infinite that you mean business about spiritual assistance, about wanting to know that there is a different way than I might not be seeing. That's what it's about. It's about breaking the chain of consciousness. We get in we get our teeth sunk into an idea like a pit bull, don't we? And we need to release it. We need to let go and know that there will be another way shown to us if we can let go of the idea that's no longer working. See, the things that we want in our life can't come in because the things we don't want are taking their place. I was like, what? I have to let go of the stuff but I like that stuff. It's taking up a great space in my conscious real estate. What would I think about if I didn't have that problem? Oy. So, if you feel you have wandered off your path, are you really off your path? And what about this thing called the law? The law. What is the law? Well, there are different laws, but there is a way that things work. There is a power that is always on, and it works a certain way. There are laws of gravity, that if I pick something up and drop it, I know that it's going to fall down. And as my grandmother used to say, you can't fall off the floor. Put it on the floor. You can't fall off the floor. I never got that until I was like, oh yeah, if it means something to me and I don't want it broken, put it on the floor. Because I won't knock it off something else, right? Go to where all the rivers in existence flow. To sea level. Lay low, like the sea level. The law of water is that it fills up and reaches the place where it can spill over and it goes low. That's what water does. It gets low. The law of flotation. You know, once we figured out it wasn't what things were made of that make things float, it was the displacement. You could take iron, and if it was shaped correctly, it could float if it displaced properly. There are laws that work a certain way, and there are spiritual laws that work a certain way. If you believe you can, you probably will. That's a very powerful law. If you believe you can't, you probably won't. Powerful spiritual law. So we need to change what we believe about these ideas that will change the laws. Now, can we change the law of flotation or gravity? No, I mean, we can bend them a little. If you went up in a plane and you descended quickly, you would bend the law of gravity. You would start to feel weightless within that fall, right? But you really, once let's talk about the laws of truth. You can bend the truth, integrity, but you can't be kind of pregnant, right? You can't be kind of guilty if you've done something wrong. You did it or you didn't. It's all in the interpretation. Well, we're being presented with a lot of interpretation these days. It's coming up so that we can check in with ourselves. It's not right or wrong, good or bad. It's let's look at where we are and why we're doing what we're doing. This isn't a judgment call. If we believe we're all one, we must love everyone equally. Let's break down the walls of right and wrong, us and them. I may not like what they do, but I love everyone. And when you have that love for everyone, walls can be broken down and we can raise as one human consciousness for the good of all. It's just a different perspective. So, in conclusion, your path is perfect. Whatever happened to you along the way, I'm not condoning challenging behavior at all. It has given you tools to make you the person you are right now and has made you stronger. I'm not going to say, well, what doesn't kill you make you stronger. Hey, what doesn't kill you makes you more aware, makes you a more conscious person, so that you will never treat someone that way, right? I mean, I learned how to be a good boss because I had some really bad bosses. I would never demean someone in front of other employees like that. It's just not good for morale. It's just not good for me. It's not good for them. It's just not good. How can we turn away from who was right and wrong to what is the highest and best that can be done in this situation for the greater good of everyone? That's where we need to look at. So, your path is perfect. Embrace where you are, where you've been, and where you're going. Make a decision. Allow divine inspiration to guide you and direct you to the highest and best that's for you, because it's always available to you. If you have a consciousness, if you thought yourself into this room this morning, You thought yourself into whatever challenge you're walking through. And I invite you to imagine what it looks like to not be in a challenge, whatever it is. And again, I'm not judging a challenge. I'm just saying, whatever it is got you to this moment. What is the highest and best for everyone involved that will raise the consciousness of you being through whatever challenge you've gone through, that will make you a better being? Because we're all one being. There's only one of us here. It's God. What gift can you give God this season of giving? And I used to think, what can I'm a musician. I want to write a song to God. But we're all musicians writing songs as our life to the infinite. Make your song sweet. Make your song lovable. And yourself will become lovable. Because you're not just lovable, you are love personified. You are the very essence of love itself expressing perfectly, even when we're having a bad day. So, I invite you to remember who you are. Tap into this season of giving and be thanks that you can give. You can give like nobody else can. You are the divine in expression. It can be no other way. You can choose challenge or truth, but check in with yourself. Are you in integrity? And so it is. Thank you. So let's follow our teaching. Let's go within and pray for a moment, shall we? So I invite you to close your eyes or take a soft focus on our beautiful Christmas tree and just let your focus bring you to that place of soft, conscious focus that allows you to ease into the realm of all possibility. Because in the realm of all possibility, there is a field. There is a field that knows no right or wrong or good or bad, and I will meet you there, and we will dance. Because I believe that there is a power, and I invite you to bring to the forefront of your consciousness whatever you believe that power is, that created the moon and the sun, the earth and the stars and the sky and the rivers, the oceans, the rain, the trees, and each one of us. It has created us with free will to choose and to decide and decipher. And as we look to what we choose to be, do, and have, and as we activate our emotional guidance system, that our intuition is activated and guides us to exactly what is needed in each moment in a way that sends love into all that we are, all that we do, and all that we imagine. Our imagination is the powerful key between the realms. As we look to what we choose to be the beautiful outcome of any situation, we open a channel in our consciousness which allows that infinite energy to make that connection. Actually, the connection has already been made in consciousness, but we get to get on that path of love. of that path of truth, of that path of solution, which opens a way for all the right molecules in our body to send the healing that's needed for our perfect health, that allows ways in our life to make connections with the people that are needed for our ultimate healing, be it at the body of our affairs or our human body. As we look to solutions, the energy of love is activated. And when that energy of love is activated, all things are not only possible, they are probable. So I'm grateful for this time, this space, and this place for us to be part of the solution of life. For I know that there is a power and we are it. And as we love, more love is generated. So we accept that love right here and right now. We accept the solutions, the healing, and the revealing of the truth right here and right now. I may not know what you're walking through, but I know that the infinite does. And right now, the infinite is making that connection, showing you a way, and allowing that way to be possible in your life. So I thank it in advance for the healing and the revealing and the truth and the love and the integrity that is happening. I say thank you. Thank you, divine, infinite wisdom of all well-being, for creating this space, this place. And I put these words directly into that law of love, knowing that whatever has come to pass has brought us exactly what we needed for our ultimate, highest, and best. And we move forward with love, with wisdom and joy, bringing exactly what's needed into the next greatest yet to be as our demonstration of who and what we are. So I release this word. I let go completely so that the power may do exactly what's needed in every moment for our ultimate healing. Because I know something wonderful is happening by means of each one of us, or we would not be. Letting this go with love and thanksgiving, we affirm it already is so by saying together, and so it is.